So I've emptied this bed. Nope, the garlic, it's not ready. Bit of a disaster. There's so much going on in this garden. That's got me thinking, oh, there's trouble at mill. Because all of the garlic, none of them are growing very well, and they're all mouldy. As all of this very warm and very wet weather we've had. I didn't like it in this bed, and it looks dry on the surface, but underneath, obviously, still quite wet. So I'm clearing the bed, except for a few of the chard. I might transplant a few of the chard seedlings over there, and I'll just clear out the chickweed. But I'm going to add in some wood ash from the wood burner. I'm going to dig some of that in to try and help with the mould. Kill off any mould spores, I hope. And then we'll see how we get on with that. This lovely soil, it really is. Oh, slug eggs. Oh, if I had chickens now, they'd be loving that. Oh, that's a lot of slug eggs. Oh, more slug eggs. Oh, and I didn't show you, did I? Oh, loads more. Slug eggs. Oh dear. You don't help either, do you? Maybe for the ground beetles. One. I'm sure the ground beetles will be happy for the meal. Oh my gosh. That was a chard root. There we go. Transplant some of these chard. Right, that's the bed with ash dug in. Not too much, just a little. Mangel wurzels and curly kale and a few chard. The mangel wurzels and the chard have exactly the same seeds like beetroot, so I'm presuming they're in the same family. I've put curly kale in there as well because from those two plants there I should get plenty of leaves. I've got another 2 plants to find space for elsewhere. If something fails, start again. It's not a failure, it's an opportunity. Yep, I won't have any homegrown garlic this year. Well, except for some autumn sowings. I will find somewhere to sow garlic for the autumn, and that'll probably go in this bed. Look at those tomatoes already. Very kindly donated by a very generous friend. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, the sweet potatoes are not doing a great deal, but they should do soon, as soon as we get some better weather, whenever that arrives. And I'm thinking I might have to put some peppers in this bed as well, because this is the one that's covered on top, so I have to manage the water better. so it has a bit more shelter. So I think I'm going to put the peppers in this bed again, but again, like the tomatoes, they're in pots, so it's not going to be too bad. It's different soil and I'll put them in pots. Or maybe this year I could just put them straight in the beds, because they weren't in the beds last year, they were in pots. So I think I might just put the peppers straight in the bed, because my neighbour had grown some from bought peppers. He sowed the seeds and they all just sprouted. Doesn't that just make your pig sick? You spend money on seeds, and somebody that doesn't normally garden just sows seeds from bought stuff and gets loads. That says a lot, doesn't it? That says a lot. And look at that. Isn't that just so promising? Right, I'm going to put peppers in here as well. Cover these up. Then I have to cover the sides up as well. This is my green and pink cabbage, the one that I fermented last year, which was absolutely delicious. It was a nice firm head, so I've got my own seeds, so for next year I'll be able to grow some more of that beautiful red cabbage, and also loads of microgreens through the winter. So fresh greens through the winter as well. So yeah, that's what you got to remember. If you're going to grow your own seeds, put it where you can put it. It's not going to interfere with the rest of the bed, and where it can carry on, because this is a biennial. So it'll, if it doesn't give you cabbage one year, let it go to seed. If it bolts, let it just go to seed, and leave that space for it. Right then, let's cover this one up and get a few peppers planted out into this bed, and I'll have actually got some gardening done this week. The runner beans there are rambling up the net, and I'm starting to see some beetroot seedlings on the ground. I am going to sow more seeds for both beetroot and carrots in cells. I know people say you should direct sow them, but not in this garden. Of all the seeds I've sown in that bed, I'll be surprised if I have 2 or 3 in each row. And if they survive. So I've done it anyway, because I needed desperately to get seeds in the ground, but seeing all the snails and the slugs in this garden, I'm going to hedge my bets and put some in cells as well. Right, got the peppers planted, about 10 of them, way behind. However, because they're in here, they should have a lot more shelter and be able to go for a lot longer, especially in the autumn when we put sides back on. Let's hope they settle in nicely. Yes, so problems in that obviously the slugs are having a field day. We have no fruit whatsoever on the blackcurrants, all the blueberries. In fact, the blueberries, the leaves are already changing colour, and it's not the soil, because the soil is beautiful and it has perfect ericaceous compost. The fact that we have a huge June apple drop. What else is there? There's a few things that we haven't had success with this year that have flopped. Like I said, the garlic. We've only got a few onions, but I plan on doing a few more. I'm going to do garlic in pots. I've got an idea, but I'll show you that later for the autumn ones. But yes, so there's quite a few things that have failed. Strawberries and raspberries, we've got virtually nothing. Yet other things are thriving that normally don't for us. So you can see a few things. I mean, the potatoes are doing fine. I have some in pots dotted around. The pumpkins are doing fine. The Assyrian tree cabbage are doing fine. Pumpkins are growing very slowly, but they usually do, and then they suddenly kick off come July, and then by September, so they have this massive growth in July, August, and then by September, October we're harvesting. So there's a massive lot of growth. So I'm going to have to stay on top of it. I'm going to have to get some more manure. That would not be a problem if I had chickens, would it? So yes. And other things like the butternut are a bit slow. Right. I'd like to introduce you to the newest family member. Say hello to Spencer. Say hello to everybody. No, after Buttons I didn't want another dog. It's too painful when you have to say goodbye. And I was getting so busy with so much stuff that it was really getting hard to manage everything. But then life happens anyway. It was not planned. It was a surprise, and it happened within 14 hours. Yes. Because we had a phone call about somebody who was not wanting this little one anymore, simply because they didn't have a single clue about what having a little dachshund would entail and all the things that go with it, and their lifestyle and their family situation just did not suit having a pup. And he is a puppy. He is not yet 8 months old, so he's a little puppy. He is a miniature dachshund. Yes. So thankfully still young enough not to have any issues that need addressing. Yes. And he's a good little boy, aren't you? He is lovely. He's cute. Full of character, as all little dashies do. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So say hi to Spencer. Yeah. No, we did not fork out any money for him at all because we couldn't afford it anyway. This person literally just was happy to let us have him, along with his little crate and everything that goes with having a dachshund. Yes, all of the little character traits. So it's an adjustment. We can't let him off in the garden on his own just yet, because under the hedges there are a few holes that we need to plug and make sure he can't escape. Yes. And of course it's not like any dog we've ever had. I've had dogs my whole life. Even as a child my parents had dogs. But a little sausage dog is very different to other dogs, especially when it comes to health issues and potential for the spinal condition that they do tend to be prone to. But it just takes a bit of management and a little bit of careful, different looking after, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes. And he's very quiet and he sleeps the whole night through without any barking. He's a very good boy, aren't you? And he's got used to a specific toileting area where we wait and clean up immediately, so there's no problem with smells or mess or anything like that in the garden. Or rather, how does a little dog fit into a suburban self-sufficiency setting? Because there's a lot of pros and cons, isn't there? Let's hit the cons first. It's another mouth to feed, to look after and put extra stuff in the store cupboard for, and be prepping for, because that's one thing that most people forget about, is adding something to the store cupboard for your pets and preparing for if you can't get to the shops, or if there's shortages, or if there's, I don't know, you just can't get out, or you have no money, or something happens that whatever money you get has to go to something else. We forget about our pets. We could always feed ourselves, but we forget about our pets. So yes, there's another mouth, another person to care for in emergency preparedness. It means we can't just go out for hours on end. he has to come with, or we have to arrange for somebody to watch him, and I don't like that because I think that's irresponsible, really. If you have an animal, you take it with you if they can't stay on their own. And as he gets old, he might get used to home and he might get used to routines, and he'll be fine on his own for just a few hours. But I think sausage dogs are a different kettle of fish. They kind of need people around all the time. And of course, it's the extra needing to take him for walks, because our garden's not big enough really for him to get all the exercise he needs. And it means committing to taking him for walks, specifically, deliberately, intentionally. So it's more time out the day. What else is there? Oh, cleaning up. We need to clean up after you. And what happens if, for some reason, like we had a few years ago, where we were so snowed in that there were no buses, no deliveries, no litter pickups from the council. So it's handling waste for a bit longer while things are not happening. Vet's bills. That's another con. As in, yeah, con and con. A reason that is maybe a negative is there will be vet's bills, because all living creatures come with health issues, don't we? Yes. And some, especially for sausage dogs, can be very expensive. So, and I think an insurance policy is a bit of a con, because you can pay in and pay in and pay in. It won't cover certain things, and you have to fork out, in most cases you have to fork out first, and then they'll reimburse you. So you're paying twice really, and to wait to get your money back if they cover the costs of whatever goes wrong. So it means having to save money specifically for vet's bills, and they could be mean bills. So let's think about the pros. The pros of having this little fella in our home is that he is wonderful company, character, distraction from whiling away too much time on social media, because it's a living little person that has needs and has company, and is a very welcome distraction, aren't you? Also, another pro is that the grandchildren love him, and they'll learn a bit more responsibility and care for animals when they're here. And I don't have to worry so much about my daughter's kids, because she has 3 dogs, so they love their dogs and they're quite well acquainted with animals' needs. It does, one of the cons I forgot is that it restricts where you could take him, because you couldn't just take him to any old beach, because some beaches are closed for certain times of the year to dogs. You can't take your dogs to certain beaches for certain spaces of the year. So it means that we might have to travel further afield to find a beach where doggies are allowed in the summer. Yes. So we can all go. Yeah? Although our summer is so short that there might be very few trips anyway. And with the cost of fuel. And it's gone down at the moment, but that's temporary. It's a false sense of security. Back to the pros of having you. There is one other thing that will be happening here at some point. I cannot guarantee time or when or how or nothing, because it's still just a concept idea. But he will have a very important role in that, and I'll cover that with you then. In the meantime, he will also keep the cats away from the garden. He has an instinct for chasing cats out the garden. I love the cats. I just am not happy that they keep using my vegetable beds for a toilet. So he will keep them at bay. Now, whereas the cats used to help sometimes with the rodents, because they still chew the bark on my apple trees, the rodents do, little mice. Yes, he will do the same, because Dashu's are really good at keeping small animals away. Well, hopefully not hedgehogs, though we've not got any hedgehogs, have we? Although I dare you to try and tackle a hedgehog. That would not happen, will it? I love cats. I just don't want them using my garden for a toilet. But there you are. So you have some functions. You have a job to do. You have a purpose. Spencer is a very important part of this home. It happened overnight, didn't it? And I forgot to mention when we had the phone call, it was at 8 o'clock of an evening. And okay, yeah, fine, we'll pick him up in the morning then after the school runs. And we did. Just like that. About 14 hours space of time from saying to be told there's a dog available and to collecting him. 14 hours. It's a good thing that our girl already has 2 of you. Yes, 2 sausage dogs. So we're well aware of everything that's needed for you. Okay, so there you go. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Who can't be distracted by such a cute little poochie? Oh yeah, the first night he was here, he woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was out walking him at 4:30 in the morning. And it was a beautiful morning. It was misty and damp, but it was lovely. Early, quiet, just what he needed, especially settling into a new area. It's raining today, so we're just waiting for it to dry up before he goes for a walk. He still needs to come out in the garden to exercise his senses, his hearing, his smell, his sight. So you can come in the garden for that, even in the winter. But for walking, I think I'll have to get a little walk pad for him. And he's so quiet. Most little sausage dogs are yappers, and they bark and bark and bark. And he wants to, because he's very nervous still. And he wants to, but I just go, shh, and he'll stop. So he knows. And then I just leave him outside. He was nervous about coming out in the rain this morning and all the sound of the water dripping on the polycarbonate roofing from the guttering, and the sound worried him. So I just made sure we came and sat outside here in the veranda so he could get used to the normal sounds of rain and what comes with the rain. That's what I do. If I take him out for a walk, I'll just sit with him a little bit. I'll sit somewhere so he can get used to the sounds of the neighborhood, which are very nerve-wracking for somebody that was never really walked before we had him. So it's new sounds, new worries. So I just sit and let him listen and get used to it. There's no threat, he's fine, he's safe. So he gets used to all the normal activity of daily life. I think that's half the battle. Right, time is moving on. The garden grows pale in importance at the moment, with things not growing, other things are thriving. So there's a balance, and there's a new person in the home. I have no idea. This was not a planned video. This was not a planned event. I have no idea what I want you to take from this video. I am sorry. It's just like an update. I would love to give you more, and I do have more planned, specific, helpful stuff for you that I hope you will find beneficial. I have a book with all of the videos planned for the things that I want to do to be more helpful and more specific. Yes, it was supposed to be, what was supposed to be this week? Oh, I did the water one, I did the finding extra space, unless that's, yeah, finding extra space, and problems as opportunities, failures and successes. So I think, I can't remember what the next one is, but I'll let you know in the community tab. So do look out for my community posts. I don't make them often, but it's a good for me to get into the habit of letting you know what's coming up next. All right, folks, have a wonderful week, or few days, or whenever I get to post. So if you hit that notification bell, I'll be able to let you know. You'll know when I post another video. All right, folks, take care. Bye-bye.